Winter is coming, my friends. Did anyone understand my reference with Game of Thrones? The winter is quickly approaching, and I know it's the summer months, and you might be like, Heather, I don't want to think about that right now. But you know what? If you're selling on Etsy, it is time to get to the grind. Hi, hello, my name's Heather. I've been selling on Etsy for 5 years now, and I just want to say this is not my first rodeo. And I have had so many very successful holiday seasons, and I'm here to help you prep for the holiday season and even just selling all year round. You don't even have to watch this video around the holiday season. For the holiday season approaching, I wanted to make this video on holiday decor products that we absolutely need to talk about. And if you have not started listing these or selling these, if you have a print-on-demand business with specifically Printify, highly recommend maybe getting to know them, using them, integrating them this season. Also, Printful is a part of Printify now too. It shows up as a print-on-demand provider, which is really nice and cool that you can tap into Printful and Printify. And if you haven't already started a Printify account, I have a link down below. You can use HeatherX Studio to get the Printify Premium membership that knocks off a few dollars on your Printify orders that come through this holiday season. Again, it's only 30 days free of that, but it does go a long way for those orders that come through. I have made well over hundreds to thousands back in profit by having a lower production fee with a print-on-demand provider like Printify. I have a list today I'm going to be going over, and I should actually start sharing my screen. I have my laptop here. I have created a list. I actually took like a few hours this morning and I put a list together on Google Sheets because I wanted to show the profit margin on these products. And going down this list, I kid you not, if you have Printify Premium, given it's Printify Premium, profit margins on these products go from 40% at lowest to 74.98% of profit margin. And that's why I am doing this video, because if you want to have good profit this holiday season on top of a lot of sales, I can't recommend these enough, okay? For these products, I will be doing tutorials in the upcoming months on all of these products. And what's really cool about these products is they have lower competition. Some of these areas, yes, there's going to be thousands of other sellers, but let me just say, every year I have sold on Etsy and been on YouTube, I've had so many subscribers like you and so many people that I've worked with personally who time and time again break through these industries. They break through these markets with a new design on these products that stands out from the rest. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. Okay, so product number one is blankets. Now, if you've been here, you know I am a big blanket fan. One of the reasons why is because production fees are considerably low for blankets. However, the profit margin is incredible on blankets. On the Minky blankets alone, if you were to sell, given this is the smallest size of blanket, but typically retail value can be 20 to 30. I've seen as high as $40 people have sold Minky blankets for, which gets you a nice profit margin of about 56% to 67% profit margin, dependent on if you have Printify Premium or you don't have Printify Premium. The profit margin's of course going to be a little bit lower, but over 50% profit margin without Printify Premium is incredible. Now, Minky blankets typically sell really well for the kids' toddler blanket niches, maybe for birthday gifts or just maybe Christmas gifts for kids, or even dog blankets. So Minky blankets are printed, packed, and shipped by Spoke Custom, and then also Miami Sublimation. I think both are really good print-on-demand providers for the Minky blankets. They both have very consistent production times, so either one you just can't go wrong with. Now, as far as Sherpa blankets, this is a different type of product that's still in the blanket category, right? What's really nice about them is since they are so thick and they are higher quality, they're warmer, they're more insulating, right? You can charge a little bit higher. Now, given profit margin's gonna dip to 30 to 47% because typically retail value for Sherpa blankets starts at about $40 and it goes up to $50. So if you were to sell a Sherpa blanket at $44.99, let's say, then you're looking at about 47.63% profit margin, but that's still a really nice profit margin of over $20. Again, that's if you had Printify Premium and you were using MWW. And then also without Printify Premium, that's still a whopping $14 of profit per sale on a Sherpa blanket. So again, just a really nice product to sell around the holiday season, because if you think of Sherpa blankets, you can go the personalization route. Again, you can do kids blankets, toddler blankets, baby blankets, dog blankets, and then you can also go the route of just throw blankets and maybe more flannel style blankets or different designs that you can put on a blanket, because a lot of people like to decorate their couches around this time of year with holiday colors and patterns, right? The next blanket, I can't speak. The next blanket, I'm struggling. The next blanket type we absolutely have to talk about is woven blankets. Now, this has been recently added in the past year on Printify and Printful. They may not seem as interesting or intriguing to some sellers. However, this is what's going to probably intrigue you the most, is the profit amount. With Printify Premium, if you were to sell a woven blanket at $49.99 with production fee at $19.77 with Printify Premium, that's $30 of profit per sale. Meaning that if you wanted to make $100 a day, you would have to sell about 3 to 4 woven blankets, which is insane and incredible. Given woven blankets, I will say that the types of niches are probably lower demand than maybe Sherpa or Minky blankets. However, even with lower demand, that's still $30 profit per sale, and you really can't get better than that. That's a really incredible profit amount. Now, without Printify Premium, it still is a really nice $24.32 of profit. Just pros of the woven blankets all in all. But again, downside is probably just demand's a little bit lower. So our next product is yard flags. I have been, okay, I'm gonna get close to the camera for this one, because I have been talking about yard flags for so long. And you might be wondering, Heather, why yard flags around the holiday season? That doesn't make sense. There's a lot of people who live in warm states all year round who buy yard flags for the holidays. And even, people in snowy parts of the world might buy yard flags, given it's not as common, and something that is holiday themed or related. Yard flags are a low competition and high demand zone on Etsy. And as far as yard flags, and the print-on-demand provider that sells yard flags is Pick the Gift, and they sell their yard flags at $6.57. Retail value is about $19.99. Again, that's before sale. And when the profit margin comes out, it's 67% for a yard flag, which profit margin, if you have Printify Premium, is $13.42. Without Printify Premium, it's going to be around $11. Now, I want to say also, I have to take a moment to say this is all estimated profit margin. Basically, you do want to factor in that the profit margins are before Etsy transaction fees. But still, that's a really nice chunk of profit, is over $10 per product that you sell. The next product is tapestries. In the past, I have said tapestries on this channel, and you all have commented about that. So I have corrected the way I say that word. But tapestries are a really great product. Right now, we're seeing a trend of these selling as signs. So types of hanging wall signs for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. And when it comes to the holiday season, there are tons of holiday parties, right? Maybe holiday office parties that people can buy signs and tapestries for. So again, just a great product, and it's produced by MWW. Profit margin is $13.75, 55% profit margin with Printify Premium. Without Printify Premium, it's going to dip to about 38% at $9.71 profit per sale, which is still pretty darn good in my opinion. And also another niche I failed to mention is birthdays. So birthday signs, again, baby shower tapestries. There's so many ways that you can sell these tapestries. So moving on to more of, I would say, Christmas themed products that I cannot recommend enough selling on Etsy. Ornaments, guys. I really encourage you to try out creating some ornaments. I have a few videos on this channel. I have a video coming up in the next month or so about ornaments as well and how to design for them. But ornaments are just such a great product. It's such a great profit margin too. Now, what I'd recommend is pricing, and don't be scared to price at like $14.99 to $19.99 if it's a personalization ornament. If you price at even $14.99 and you use Swift POD, which recently just started doing ornaments as well, this is new as far as this year, for their production fees, Printify Premium pricing, it's $3.75. So if you priced at $14.99, you're going to come up away with $11.24 estimated profit. Again, that's before Etsy fees given, so it might be $9 of profit, but that's 74.98% profit margin. And if you don't have Printify Premium, that's still a whopping 70% profit margin. So that is really incredible for ornaments, and that allows us as print-on-demand sellers to compete for selling ornaments. And I know a lot of handmade sellers too have swapped to print-on-demand because the cost of overhead is just too high, and doing print on demand instead is well worth it. So the other thing that I wanted to show in this video is all of the new ornaments that are on Printify, okay? There are so many different types of ornaments that you can sell too, which is really, really cool. And it really allows you to stand out and be different. Glass ornaments, there's a beveled glass ornament by Printed Mint. Now there is custom acrylic ornaments too that they actually will cut around your design. It is early access, meaning that some of these types of products you may have to order a sample of. There is the fun ornaments now too, the sled ornaments, there's oval ornaments, there's aluminum ornaments, and then there's these crystal glass ornaments that are just so beautiful. But a lot of these ornaments are just so beautiful, and there's so many different types of ornaments that you can choose from now and sell to be different than the rest on Etsy. So the other products that you can sell is Christmas stockings. So Christmas stockings are actually becoming more popular from what I've seen on Etsy. There's a few different options of Christmas stockings. So there's one from Imagine Your Photos that has the plaid on the top of the product. And then there is also the Christmas stockings by MWW. So the price I have on my spreadsheet is Pick the Gift of $12.01. And Christmas stockings, their prices float from $20 to $30 as far as retail value. So you can expect over $10 of profit, which is about 50% profit margin. Again, that's a really good profit margin to have. Now, if you don't have Printify Premium, that's going to be around over $7 after Etsy fees. Again, so you're seeing a little bit lower profit margin, but it's still really nice as far as making over $7 of profit margin per sale. The next products to go into is, I would say, not as much Christmas related. These are more evergreen and products you can sell all year round. So candles. I've talked about candles on this channel before. I've also done a tutorial on this that I'll recommend at the end of this video, but candles are such a good product to sell. Now, again, I would say the only problem with selling candles is if you're going to sell candles, I would look into perhaps some sort of insurance because it is a flammable product. But that is the only downside to selling candles. The upside is many, many upsides because it is a very popular product on Etsy. It's a great gift to give around the holiday season. Think of punny dad gifts, grandparent gifts, maybe punny coworker leaving gifts. That is essentially what is very popular on Etsy all year round. Now, when it comes to candles, the one I priced out is by Printed Mint, and it's an amber jar candle. The production fee is $8.06, and the profit margin is over 50%. It's 59% of profit margin, and that's over $10 of profit per candle sale if you were to sell a candle at $19.99. And then without Printify Premium, it's still floating around $10 of profit per sale and over 50% profit margin. So that's what's so nice about candles, is there really is a beautiful, beautiful profit margin on these. And that's why I recommend selling these around the holiday season, because a lot of people are buying gifts for others, right? I'm gonna move on to my last few products here. So wall art. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what wall art should I sell? Because there's so many different types. Now, there's a few different types you can sell. What I've found that's the most popular is the matte vertical posters by John Doe. So there are so many sizes and the prices do really increase as you go higher in sizes. So I did add to my spreadsheet the different sizes and profit margins. So if you were to sell an 8x10, which is, I would say 8x10 is probably more popular, like vertical prints and posters are popular at 8x10, 11x14, 24x36. Honestly, there's so many popular sizes, but as far as the different sizes and profit margin goes, across the line, you're looking at over 40% with Printify Premium again. If you don't have Printify Premium, it starts at around 20%, which is probably the lowest I have in this list, to 50%. So when we're looking at profit margin for the 8x10, that's looking at about $16.89. The 11x14 is $17.68. A lot of the times with wall art and posters, the prices go up to about $30 for a small to medium sized poster. Now, if you were to sell a 24x36, which is a super large vertical poster, the pricing I've seen across Etsy is around $60. I know that sounds high, but this is a large poster, right? So we're looking at about $59.99, which is over $20 in profit margin. So it's around $14 without Printify Premium. So even at 20%, that's a really nice profit to have per poster sale. So outside of that, that's pretty much what I have for wall art. Now I will say canvases do sell well too on Etsy. It's not on my list just because I found a lot of people do prefer the posters at times to put in a framed piece. However, canvases do sell as well, the wrapped ones on Printify. Also to note, if you are a digital seller or you're interested in digital sales, and selling that as a digital file in your Etsy shop is actually a good way to go. And I do recommend that instead of selling the printed posters with print on demand, you could do the digital route too. So now going into one of our last categories that sells very well during the holiday season is pillows. I say that hesitantly because I always mispronounce it. Pillow or pillow? I think it's pillow. Like pill. Oh, honestly, I think it's just like a maybe where I was raised that's I feel like I don't know, maybe I mispronounce things. For the cases and just pillows by themselves, the prices do vary as far as production fees, because on Printify, this is something that I found out when I first started looking into pillows, is that it's going to fluctuate in production fees because there's so many different types between the full with the stuffing in it and then just the case by itself. So you need to be aware of that when you're selling on Etsy. Now you can add the full pillow with stuffing in it. Then you can add that as additional variation or option in the options section of the listing. But what I've seen on Etsy is actually the cases by themselves sell really, really well. And that's what people are actually looking for. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to sell. I highly recommend just selling the case, but I am going to give some options of the full pillow by itself. So MWW has production fee on this with the faux suede, which is kind of really cool and an additional new product that I found. And with the faux suede, it is $24.99 is close to the retail value. You can sell up to $30 because this is a high quality feel type of product. So that profit is going to be close to $15. Even without Printify Premium, it's over $10 a profit per product and pillow that you sell. And then there is also just the full pillow, which is $14.94. And again, you will want to charge more for this product because it is not just the case, right? So $29.99 is where I would start at the lower end of retail value. You can price up to $40 in my opinion, since it is the full pillow, which is going to get you a nice profit of over $13, and it's over 50% profit margin, which is really, really nice for these types of products. And then if you don't have Printify Premium, again, it's going to be around like $7 a profit, which is still really nice profit for pillows. So the other types of products that I did want to mention in the pillows is there's so many different types. There is one that's microfiber pillow sham. There's outdoor ones, there's woven ones, there's tufted, there's pet beds. So there is just so many different variations and a large variety that you can choose from. And that's what's really fun about decor in total, is there's so many creative ways that you can make designs for these specific pillows and variations, right? So that's just something to know. So my bonus product at the very end of this video, I want to make sure this is okay. It is still working. I had a moment. So my bonus for anyone who's watched this entirely long video is something that I have kept, not secretly, but semi-secretly, because it is a really good product opportunity and very beautiful profit per sale that you can get, which is, drum roll please, acrylic wall art panels. Now you're gonna look on Printify here and oh my gosh, I'm eating my hair. So acrylic wall art, you may be thinking, Heather, why, like what even sells? Like, I don't even get it. Like, what are you saying? Buy acrylic wall art panels. So this one made by Taylor, you're going to look at this on the screen and be like, Heather, why? Why does this sell? And how do you sell it? So there's a category that sells at the end of the holiday season, which is in the planning and calendar realm on Etsy. And acrylic calendars are a huge area on Etsy that is growing, and it's going more viral because it is a reusable type of product, which I feel like as we go forward, a lot of people are looking for more reusable types of products. I could just get a wall calendar that is erasable, right? So these calendars, if you make and do a print on acrylic, you are able to essentially write on it with dry erase marker, and it can erase too. Now, some sellers that I found on Etsy have sold, according to Everbee, my Google Chrome extension. By the way, if you haven't heard of Everbee, it's a Chrome extension that shows me the statistics on these products and how many sales these estimate to have. And I will link it down the description if anyone is curious about that and wants to use it and see for yourselves these statistics. But this product has sold over 13,000 times, which means this product, it starts at around 100. I mean, I'll get out the price, but right now it's at $50 at the smallest size. A lot of customers may actually buy at the $100 to $200 mark. So even at $50 at 13,000 sales, I need to get out my, I don't even know where my, oh, there's my phone. 13,282 times even 51, let's just say. That's $677,000 in revenue. Even let's say maybe the 13,282, maybe some people buy at the $50 mark, some people buy 100, and this goes up to $300. Given with print on demand, we can't sell products that may be large or larger scale, because the largest size we can sell with Printify is 20 by 16. The 20 by 16 this seller is selling this for, given the only comparable size is around 18.5 by 23, so that's about $101. So typically for retail pricing, we're looking at, that would be like $99.99 we could sell our own acrylics for, which would be a profit of 58%, which gives us $58.97 per sale, given, you know, knock off a few dollars for Etsy fees and other fees related, but that would be $50, over $50 of profit per sale. And if we sold 13,282 products of this, let's just say in an alternate universe, we were the seller at maybe $50 a profit. That would be $664,000 of profit. That's insane. That is so inspiring to me, at least. And that's why I crunch these numbers, because it's inspiring and it kind of gets you, at least for me, it gets me fired up to sell or create for new products. And given this listing has been up for 61 months, so this is over the course of many years too, but still, to show the ability that you can have selling print-on-demand products is really, really beautiful. And even without Printify Premium, you're still looking at over $40 a profit per item. So outside of that, I hope this video inspired anyone who is going into their first holiday season or first winter. And if you made it to this part of the video, I want you to write below, this is going to be my best holiday season yet. Besides that, don't forget to subscribe on your way out, like this video, and watch the next video I have for you all on a tutorial that's going to help you in the upcoming months. See you guys.